Hairline design. Today we're going to talk about something that you rarely hear about, and which is probably the most important aspect of hair transplantation: your design. Welcome to Blog de Pelos. This is the first part of a series on design. Now, the first step in doing hair transplantation is to take a good look at your facial features and notice what's happening to you with the hair loss. What is the hair loss forcing you to do? Is it forcing you to do a comb over? Has it forced you to shave your hair close? Does it make your face look fuller? Does it make you look older? This is the first step in doing a hair transplantation because we need to respond to this. Now, a good example to explain this is this case here. Now, with his hair loss, his face looks round, it looks very oval. You may associate it with somebody who's heavy set, who's overweight, somebody who's older, and basically it's this oval shape of his head that makes it look this way. In other cases, with hair loss, you'll notice a face that just seems like it's too long. And this is also associated with somebody that's older. It's not an aesthetically agreeable face when it's just got this continuous line from the chin to the hairline. Now, we'll see the result in just a second. And finally, we have an example here of somebody who, because of their hair loss, in my opinion, their face looks just like it has really hard features. Like it's somebody that doesn't easily make friends. You know, it's just their features are a little bit too rugged, too hard. And this is also something that I commonly find in patients. So going back to the first example, the hair transplant should aim to change the basic shape, the basic form of this man's face. And this is what we've done here with one session of hair transplantation, where his face looks more rectangular. Now, this rectangular shape is associated with a thinner, more athletic, and obviously a younger appearance. The other case that we've seen was the face that just seemed to be too long. And here we see a face that has better facial proportion. Now, better proportion means that his eyes are centered in his face. And when you talk to somebody, you would want them to stay focused on your eyes. Now, this is what the hairline does for you. It keeps your face framed. It keeps your eyes in the center. It keeps people looking where they should be looking. And remember, your eyes are probably the best way to communicate. You know, the look in your eyes is saying a whole lot more than what you're saying through your mouth. Finally, in this case where I felt the features were hard, where the face wasn't soft, he didn't seem accessible, we see that his face now looks more youthful. I think this type of result changes the person's attitude. It makes them feel more confident. It makes them feel more willing to do outdoor activities, to maybe change their wardrobe, to change their hairstyle. And this is the type of things that should be aspired to when you do a hair transplantation, versus just going out and searching the market for who will do the most number of grafts for you. You know, that's an important aspect, but the hairline design is probably more important. It actually determines how many grafts you actually need. You know, how high or how low you're going to put that hairline. So these are important aspects that you probably haven't considered. And from here on, if you're going to do an investigation into hair transplantation, be on the lookout for this. Watch closely what kind of images are presented to you. You should always be able to look at the hairline. There's no reason why somebody should cover the hairline when they're presenting before and after pictures. And obviously look for videos. Videos where they have the patient looking around in different directions, so you get a good angle of this. There's no reason why people should know you have a hair transplant. If you want to share it with others, that's great. But there's no reason why you should feel obligated to do so. Now, when you have a result that looks like one of these that I've just showed you, people who see you on a day-to-day basis, they won't know that you have a hair transplant. They'll probably guess that you're thinner. they'll probably guess that you've done something different with your hair, but not know that it was actually a hair transplant. And this has to do with many aspects, not only the general contour of the hairline, which is probably the most important aspect, but it's not the only aspect. We'll talk about the other aspects in video 2 of design. But basically, you should feel comfortable knowing that hair transplantation, when it follows this general rule of responding to what's happening in your facial features versus making a hairline for you, just like it was done for the patient who came in before you, it should give you that confidence that no one will notice that you've had something done. And to me, that's the most important aspect. I don't care. If I went bald, I wouldn't care if you did 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 follicles or grafts. I would most importantly care that no one would notice my hair transplant. That I could confidently go into any kind of situation, especially a situation where there's intimacy, and I wouldn't want people to notice. I wouldn't want my significant other, my girlfriend or whoever it is in my life, I wouldn't want them to know that I had a hair transplant unless I wanted to share it with them. So this is just an important aspect. Again, follow us in clip number 2 and video number 2, hairline design, and don't forget to subscribe so you can get more updates on hair transplantation.